Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Chair Yoga and Meditation. It's the new year. Here we are, starting our fresh start of 2026. So this is just after the full moon, so we're kind of influenced still by that full moon, which means that the sort of the nature of today's practice, though it will be a lot of movement and kind of energetic in some ways, it will also be flowing. The full moon is considered influenced by the water element if we're looking at elements, and so that just lends itself to uh, flowing mindfulness, that kind of thing. So you can expect, I hope, that kind of experience today. All right. So let's begin with some pranayama as we begin our transition. So sit nice and tall in your chair, come forward a little bit so you can really feel your feet to the earth. Have that block in between your legs so you can just start to feel your way into your body. You're just feeling the engagement of your legs to support holding that block. And you just make your own adjustments that helps you're going into yoga now. You're making those adjustments, kind of taking yourself out of the environment you're in and the influences of that and the noise and the busyness and the list and all of that. You're just kind of putting that aside and bringing yourself into the space that you occupy. And in so doing, we create a sort of sacred space. We just sort of carve that out for ourselves and sit up in a way that feels well aligned. So sit up in a way that feels like you're utilizing good alignment. And take a moment or two to, again, press your feet to the floor. Maybe you're doing some body scanning to feel how your shoulders doing or your neck and all of that stuff. And we're going to begin with the box breath. I think it's such a basic and good practice to begin with. That's the one where you count. You count how long it takes you to inhale, and then you hold a space. You count again, and you hold a space, and those spaces are equal in length. I mean, those countings are equal in length. Therefore, I'm drawing out a box here. Therefore, the name the box breath. I am going to recommend 4. See how that fits you, that you count out an inhale that lasts for a count of 4. You pause for a count of 4. You exhale for a count of 4. Again, pause. So that's the movement. Inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. Eyes closed and really utilize the actual self-talk of the count. Let's begin. Inhale, a count of 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. You're on it. You got it now. Use that image if that's helpful for you, just drawing out the box, equalizing your breath. And the counting and the mindfulness that this requires is all useful as we focus now. We're bringing ourselves into a highly focused state. Stay with it a little bit longer. Last one, last round, all the way through your box. Good. And then just take a big breath in through the nostrils, kind of sigh that out. Any movement your body needs now. Reset the body. So if there's any movement you think your body would benefit from, give yourself that. We're going to use one more of our pranayams so we can really stay focused and feel this transition very, very definitely in our body and in our mind. So I'm going to use the mudra for the Nadi Shodhana. That's the alternate nostril breath. You're using your right hand, so even though it looks like we are not using the same hand, remember it is the right hand that you're using to do it. Technically, the thumb and the ring finger are the pressure points. That's how you plug your nostril. And remember also there's an option, don't use your hand at all, do it by intention only. I'm going to lead you through it to begin with. We start by plugging the right nostril so we can inhale left. Plug the left so you can exhale right. Change the plug, inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, exhale right. Stay here. Inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, stay here. Inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, exhale right. Take a pause now as we just breathe in and breathe out through the nostrils if you can. We're going to reset for the second round. Exhale completely. Plug the left side so you can inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, stay here. Inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, exhale right. We stay. Inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, and last one, inhaling right, exhaling left. You can remove your hand, breathe normally now through both nostrils. Any movement, of course, that your body needs, you just automatically offer that up. Use good posture now. Sit in a way that feels very intentional. Let's turn our hands into the mudra of the lotus. So we've got our fingers and the palms of our hand, or I should say the edges of those hands together. So this is called the lotus. So these fingers are kind of like petals opened up, and we bring that right into the center of the chest bone, the heart space. And let's open now to receive the benefits and blessings of this practice as we set our intention. For sure, you want eyes closed here. And I've always immediately in my mind's eye, in the way I interpret whenever I'm talking about the term intention, what it means to me is self-inquiry. How am I doing? When what do I need? How are you, dear one? And just check in. What could I use from yoga today? So gentle, compassionate way of approaching your intention. Be kind. Open to receive. Open to receive. And so it is. So lay your palm over palm so you just have your hands right there at that chest bone, right there at the center of the heart in the language of yoga, as we just kind of hold that for a moment, just kind of bringing ourselves into the awareness of the heart. Yoga has a beautiful underlying intention, and that is to move us out of the thinking mind and into the feeling heart. Beautiful. All right. As we begin, we're going to begin in a standing position. So let's find our way there. I want you to get your block, though, or continue to use your block between your legs just to begin with, and straighten out your feet. So your feet are parallel to each other. They're straight. They're not pointing in different ways. Your toes are pointed straight ahead. So let's get that established where we can really feel our way into our legs. We came from feeling our way into our seat. Our body was feeling its way there. But now I want you to feel your way into your legs, and I'm going to turn a little bit. You don't ever, hardly ever do you need to move with me because I often adjust myself so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's a little, there's some bending of the knee, and it's just kind of a pulsation as you just feel your way into your toes, the soles of your feet. You can feel this as buoyancy, as fluid movement. It's not rigid. But we want to be strong with the belly wall. So we start to engage that part of the body that stabilizes us, stabilizes the low back, for example. Get those shoulders back. Open and close your hands. And let's find the rhythm of our breath. Just start to notice as you're just doing this gentle grounding and bringing yourself into the awareness of the body that you, of course, connect with the experience of breathing. If you can breathe in and out through your nose, that's always great, but it's not necessary. Let that breath be as it is. Good. And let's go with some shoulder rolls. So we're just going to get the shoulders in action now, pulling up, back, and down. What I like to do is find, again, looking for this sort of flow that I kind of bend my knees and then straighten those legs so it kind of is in sync with the movement of the shoulders. Again, just a suggestion, see if that feels natural to you and kind of worth pursuing. Moving those shoulder blades, that's the idea. Where's the breath? Same kind of movement, only now it's just one shoulder at a time. So it'll take a little more coordinated effort. And let's turn the head while we do that. So when your shoulder moves, you kind of turn your body. You're turning your head, neck, shoulders a little bit. Yeah, just like that. That feels pretty good. Deepen the breath. Every once in a while, that's just such a good cue for us to say to ourselves, deepen the breath. You might be feeling like I'm breathing pretty good, but then you just say, oh, deepen it. And then it's just richer. All right, let's change the direction of that, but just one shoulder at a time. I'm not doing my bent knee, doesn't just feel all that natural for me anyway. So I'm just going to keep my legs steady. And then, how we go swimming sometimes, we get those arms in motion as if we were swimming, but keep yourself upright. Don't dive down. Keep yourself upright with this movement. Notice the flow of your breath. Remember to exhale completely. Oh, that always helps. Exhale it out. Last time, each arm. Going to go one more time with each arm. Then we got it. Beautiful. Palms will be together overhead. Lift up, look up. Exhale and bow at the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, go all the way down and around. We're going to bend the knees and kind of squat. Now, I'm going to continue to try to do this with the block. If it's like that's, doesn't work for you at all and it's just not worth the bother, you always can just pitch it. But I like to have that action. I like to, because remember what it does? It activates the Mula Bandha. So just by squeezing that block, we've at least done some dial into that strength of the core that we can find through the Mula Bandha's action. So coming into cat and cow now, so it's going to be a tilt of the pelvis and then a tuck of the pelvis. Keep your arms nice and steady. Try not to bend your elbow. Create a bracket of support. And that the movement is almost entirely in the pelvis. I mean, that's the motor. That's the engine that's running this. You feel it, of course, in your back, and particularly your low back. But it feels like, what's governing this, what's creating it? It's the pelvis, tucking and tilting. Inhale completely and exhale completely. And feel this as a flow. This is a vinyasa, of course, connecting breath to movement. So it shouldn't feel rigid. So to try to create as much fluid movement as you can. One more time. And then let's bring ourselves all the way up, all the way up. Palms will be together overhead. Look up. Exhale, bow. Inhale up, all the way out and around. Okay, I'm going to lose the block. We're just going to start moving the arms now. Palms face up, elbows in. So we're just going to want to introduce, you keep reintroducing this idea of what you do with your hands changes the bones, change the movements. It changes eventually how the arm bone is engaging in that socket. So that's the purpose. So we just start palms up and make a fist and pull in, flip it to palms down and go down. So it's just palms up for the fist, bring it down. Palms up for the fist, bring it down. The reason I turn to the side is because we're going to take a little movement here. So when you make that fist, you'll step forward, alternating which foot steps forward. Fluid movement through the arms so that it starts to feel continuous. There's not a pause in between your inhale and your exhale. It feels very continuous. Get real strong when you're making that bicep curl. Make it count. Squeeze in when you really pull in and make a real strong fist. That's an engagement through that bicep. It's real nice. So don't miss that opportunity to strengthen your arms. Last time with each step. And let's come back to a neutral position and just sort of shake that out. Let's take a little wider stance so we can glue our feet to the floor and just flip-flop our arms around. And then get those arms to start swinging a little bit more so. Keep them kind of low around your hip and belly area. Let your head turn to go with it. And there's always sort of this up and down movement going on. Let's go a little higher with the arms. A little more intentional now because we're up in the shoulder area, not way up. Maybe not as much pulsation. Let's just smooth it out so no longer bouncing in our legs. But now it feels just fluid movement. And you want your head to move the way it just needs to move. Here's something I'm going to take a pause here. When you're sweeping yourself in one direction, what do we need to do to take care of our legs and especially our joints? One foot has to raise. So when you're bringing yourself over here, you got to get that heel up on the opposite side. And when you come over, you got to do the same thing over there. So that's what's good health for your joints. So that's the flow I want you to try to find, is that it includes the lift of the heel. Let's go way high now. So we sweep up and we sweep up over here. Let's hold it now. Wherever you are, there's toe down and heel up on one side of your body, and the other foot, of course, is very grounded. Lift up, look up. Put a mitten hand on each hand. Lift your chest so you can lift your head. Lift the chest so you can lift your head. Full breath in, full breath out. Let that breath move through your whole body. Reach up through the armpits. Let's not make the hands do the reaching. Let's let the armpits lift up our whole shoulder carriage. Nice. Let's switch now. We're going to go to the other side. Same deal. Toes, ball of the foot down, heel up. One foot, of course, is grounded. Lift up the chest so you can lift up your head. Find that breath. Be intentional about the way you hold your hands. And the lifting, the kind of engagement, or the, how much you're trying to increase your experience, comes from more like your armpits, not your hands. That's what's expanding you, is the opening up through the armpits and through the shoulder carriage. Excellent. Let's come on down, and any kind of movement your body needs to reset, even from that. Again, maybe a wider stance, just so we have a nice firm foundation. We're going to let one hand glide down our pants. The other arm's going to lift up. So get real long and bend down from this to the side. So your arm goes right past your ear. The way your head is held matters. So you may find that you want to look at the floor. That just seems to feel better in your neck. You may want to look toward the ceiling because you got lots of flexibility there and you're trying to just create a wonderful experience with that kind of movement. You might hold your head very neutral and almost cautiously because you have a little issues with that. So you pay attention to how you're holding your head as you glide one hand right down. Make sure it stays connected to your leg. Let's just use that as a way of continuing to stabilize ourselves. One hand's touching the leg. Let's deepen the breath and carry ourselves up with that top arm. Now make one more circle with that. And back to a neutral position. Any adjustment you need to make, any movement your body needs. I always say, you have to make a wardrobe adjustment. Then we're going to let our hand come down to the other side, reach up, side bend. Pay attention to how you're going to have to hold your head. It could be different over here. So, and then I wish I'd have said it on the first go. We kind of want a soft bend in the knee. You don't want to lock your knees here. Connect with that breath so you can feel the fullness of it, the fullness of your inhale and the exhale. Really listen to your body. Pay attention to little nudges you're getting about adjustments, because that's how your body communicates with you. You pay attention to that. That's your teacher. Any adjustments. Feeling your feet to the floor, a little soft bend to the knee. And let's get that top arm to carry us all the way up and around. One more time, circle that around. Let's interlace our hands behind the back. So weave your fingers together, pull your knuckles back and away from you. Bend the knees and let's try a forward fold here. So we're pulling our knuckles back. Our arms are very strong, fully extended. Dive your head down so you're looking between your legs. Top of the head is reaching to the floor, not your nose. The top of the head is reaching toward the floor. Let's deepen the breath into the belly. Feel your belly move as you breathe. Release those interlaced hands and hang like a rag doll now. Hang your arms like a rag doll. Grab hold of your elbows so you've created a little frame. Tuck your head into the frame that your arms have just created. Deepen the breath. Keep the chin drawing in towards your throat. So you're not trying to lift your head to look out in any way. You don't need to see the screen. Release those arms. Jump your hands just above your knees. Start to bend those knees and squeeze your elbows into your waist, and you're coming up halfway. So look where we are. When we did our cow and our cat a moment ago, same exact position. Let's move into that. Tuck that tail and tilt. Tuck your tail and tilt. Make sure you feel your feet firmly into the floor here. Couple more. Full breath. It's always the best yoga when we can remember to just really emphasize the fullness of our breath, no matter what we're doing. Last time, moving through both of those postures, and then bring yourself all the way up. Palms will be together. Inhale here. Exhale hard. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down and around. How about some marching in place? So this might mean, you'd be better off. You'd feel more comfortable perhaps if you were positioned by your chair in a certain way. So make sure that that's true. You've got the support you need. And we're going to just take a high knee march. So if hand on the block, excuse me, hand on the chair is going to serve you better by all means. High knee, marching in place. So when you lift your foot, flex it. So it's not like you're just dragging this ragdoll foot. You know, you're popping up. Your foot is just as active as your knee is. Last time on each leg, take a pause, catch up with your breath, any movement your body needs. We're going to do a little balance here. That was kind of a balance too. I think just the marching in place kind of taps into our balance capacity here. But let's move our body weight into one leg. Take that high knee on one side, extend it out, point the toe, and then draw a circle. Take a high knee, flex the foot. Again, point your toe, draw a circle. Maybe you change the direction of the circle. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. High knee. Now draw that circle right below your knee. Nice. All right, let's get both feet to the floor. Shake that out a little bit. Let's get our feet a little wider and do our shaking thing. So we've got our feet glued and we're just shaking that out. Let's go back to some marching. I'm going to move my chair, just saying. We're marching. Let's go to side two for that balance. So we're shifting our weight toward the chair, to the leg that's near the chair. And we take that high knee up. And then we point that toe and draw a circle with that leg. The toe is drawing that circle. Oh boy, that's a challenge, right? With no arms to help. High knee, foot to the floor, high knee. We point again, and now we see if we can change the direction of the circle we drew. Point the toe. Yeah. High knee, can you hold it now? Now point your toe and see if you can draw a circle here. So the circle is right below your bent knee. And we change the direction of that. I don't know about you, but that's not that easy. Both feet to the floor. Shake it out. Ah. Full breath in and out. Let's find our mountain. I'm going to say, get a hold of your block. This time we're going down to the lower legs. Shins in. We want to see if we can find that position in yoga where the shins are drawing in, which allows the thighs to draw out. It's just good health for the hips. So shins in intentionally, a little soft bend of the knee so we can let those hips open up, the adjustment of those thigh bones into the hip socket. Palms face forward. Draw the belly in. Close your eyes and let's find a full body breath. Start that inhale at the soles of your feet and draw that inhale as it ascends up. You got to use your imagination, of course. It extends up into the crown of the head and let it exhale down the backside of your body. Full body breath, starting at the feet, working its way up the front, ascending and descending down. This is another opportunity to keep a continuous flow of the breath. So you're allowing this, immediately move from inhale to exhale. There's really no pause in between. And this breath is meant to be serviceable. So if it feels like you never did take a proper breath because you had this particular direction you were trying to find, that's not the breath we're looking for. This is a serviceable, feeling our way, good, strong breath that we're enjoying. It's just that we're feeling it through our body in a particular way. Last one now. Go all the way up and down. Pop your eyes open. Inhale with me, palms to be together. We look up. Exhale, bow. Inhale up. Exhale all the way out and around. Again, lose the block. I'm going to just lose the block in that way. I've got the chair in a position so the back of my chair is facing me. Let's come into our warrior one. So that means that we're going to start with the left foot stays forward, right foot steps back. We bend into the left knee. Now feel your hip points. Feel that bony prominence. Those hip points need to shine right toward the chair. This is warrior one. One knee is bent, back leg is straight. It's forward facing. I want you to take the same side arm, your bent knee side, left, wrap that arm behind you. Wrap it behind you so it pulls your shoulder back. And leave it back there. I mean, just the back of your hand can rest at the buttocks or at the sacrum somewhere. Just let it rest back there, pulling your shoulder back and opening through your chest. The other hand, straight arm matches straight leg. Put your mitten hand on and lift up. We're going to do this as a flow. I'm a little too close to the chair for me. So we're going to lift up, inhale, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. The flow is optional. So if that's not steady for you, you don't like it, just hold it and create this and express it the way you want to. Try exhaling out of your mouth just for a change, that you're really intentionally blowing the breath out. Just see how that feels in your body when you make that change. Let's hold it now. We lift up, we hold it. And if you'd like, add the other arm as well. So both arms are up, palms face each other, warrior one. I call this the proud warrior. Exhale completely. Let those shoulder blades slide down your back. Nice. Let's get our hands to the chair. We can step forward. We're going to shake it out. Make sure you're all caught up with your breathing. Any shaking out you need to do. Side two. So right leg stays forward, left leg steps back. The bent knee is the right one, of course. We want our hip headlights to shine right in toward the chair, so we're squared away. Both feet are down. We don't have one heel up in the back. We got both feet down. Bent knee side, that's the arm that wraps around, pulls that shoulder back. Straight leg matches straight arm. Put your mitten hand on. We flow, inhale and exhale down. It's the flow is limited to the movement of the arm. The body, it otherwise is staying right where it is. Maybe you lift your head a little bit. There's that adjustment, but essentially, the foundation is the same. The movement is through the arm, how you expand through the chest. Meet me with your arm up, and maybe you'll put both arms up for the proud warrior one. Feel your feet, feel the strength of your legs. Strong belly wall. Both arms come down. Let's get our feet back together and we'll shake out a little bit. We're going to finish it with some twisting. So I'm going to just face you while we do it. So you'll see what that looks like. I'm going to say a wider stance than your hips, but not as wide as your arms are. So somewhere in between. So if we're going to take this twist to to face another wall, when we do it, we got to move a foot. So if you're going to turn yourself, you're going to have to move that corresponding foot. See what I'm saying? So we start here, feet are lined up, but when we twist, we need to take that foot so it's pointing in the direction that we have twisted to. I want you to find your capability there that as you twist, let's change to the other side. Got to move the foot. Let's try a little flow here. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Got to move the foot. Inhale up, foot moved. I think you got it. Last one. Yeah, let's find our goddess position here. Opens the heart. Release those arms, shake it out. We're making our way, believe it or not, we are going to sit. Now it's time. Let's bring that block between the legs, I guess. We want to be forward on our chair so we're in our position that we're very familiar with. Gives us the capacity to move our legs, but we still feel very supported in the pelvis. And we're not leaning into the backrest. Any adjustment your body needs to do right now. Just making your way here, settling in, feeling how you just dropped in. A new source of grounding. We were completely connected to our legs and the source of grounding that our feet and our legs provided in our standing postures. Now we're feeling that grounding just feels a little bit different in the body. I'm going to turn to the side. You don't need to. You're just fine the way you are. We're going to do a little abdominal strength, and that's by lifting up the block, but we got to tilt ourselves back. So hold on to the chair in any way that gives you confidence as you just lift up. Let's flip those feet up so you know your feet feel very active. So some sort of a flow here or pulsation of it if you wish. But then we're going to hold it when you feel like you kind of got the hang of it and you can feel a way that you could balance that, holding your hands in a particular way, squeezing that block, various ways you can challenge yourself. But hands can be however you want them to be, holding on to the underside of your legs, holding on to some part of the chair. Let's come out of it now a minute. Now we know what we're headed to. We're going to do a few of these, kind of strengthen that belly wall. This is called boat pose. You can see we've just created a V here with our body and really requires a lot of abdominal wall strength. Pay attention to how your neck is managing. You know, the weight of your head is significant here. So if you're straining your neck, you definitely want to make it an adjustment. Let's come back with feet to the floor, making movement, just resetting the body. We got one more round to do while we hold our boat pose. Flex those feet. Remember, you can change. Maybe you're holding onto your legs now and you weren't doing that before. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Beautiful. Let's get the feet back to the floor. We're going to lose the block, tuck it under the chair, and just move the body in a way that feels like you're, just resetting. Arms are alongside the frame of the chair. Let's arch the back body and tilt the pelvis, moving now into our more traditional cow pose here, the extended spine. Let's just hold it as we breathe both in and out. Push your feet to the floor so you can get even more arch at the back. Remember, you're trying to really facilitate this by tilting your pelvis. When we exhale, hands come to the kneecaps, we start pulling the belly wall in so we can tuck like crazy. Chin drops towards your chest. Keep your eyes down. Breathing both in and out. Now let's move to the vinyasa, the flow. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth like you're blowing it out. Slow, but complete. Feel like you've got to really pull your belly in to allow the breath to fully exhale out of your body. So you're going to pull that belly wall in very intentionally. Last time. Let's come back to a neutral position. Let's just roll the shoulders, start to move your head to look one way and look the other. We're going to finish with goddess pose. So we're going to open up the feet wide, heels in, toes out. I'm very close to the front edge, but yet I feel a lot of support, no problem there. But you need to have that ability to move your legs. Arms, that's that elbows, bent elbow, hands up. Let's stretch our hands open. There's the goddess pose. We have an option here of pushing into the feet and hovering above the chair. So you taking yourself off the chair and back. Hover. You could just hold it. So coming off the chair seat is optional. Let's all meet in the chair seat and let's do a little open and close. Inhale here and exhale it through. Okay, inhale looks like that, wide open. Exhale is the closed position. Inhale and close it up. Next time you close your legs together, bring your hands to the prayer position at the heart. Breathe in, breathe out, bow to yourself. Eyes closed so you can really feel the effects of your practice today thus far. The vitality of it, I hope. Steady that breath, like you're trying to, extend that vital force with your own encouragement. You're not just relying on whatever it is. You're directing it. You're just allowing that vital life force to be moving throughout your body, and you're aware of it. You're encouraging it. In Hatha Yoga, we use a common expression and practice called non-linear movement, where we let the body move. That's not a pose. It's not anything particular. It's just this ability to close our eyes. It's almost always done with eyes closed, and you're simply moving. You're simply allowing that in this practice, our classes, we reset the body. We do the very similar thing when we say, oh, we got to reset our body. So I want you to do that. Think of it maybe in terms of you're going to employ this non-linear movement, which is such a great way to just encourage creativity in your body, a free-flowing, communication without filters, and not, your mind isn't saying, oh no, what's that? Or, it's just allowing the free-flowing creative movement that your body just naturally wants you to do. So we're going to finish with that movement before we come into Shavasana. Stay true to your breath awareness while you do your nonlinear movement. You're still paying attention to the fact that your breath is important and that you want to pay attention to it. You want to notice it and how it fuels your movement and how it calms your body. And then in your own time, maybe you're going to grab now a second chair, or however it is you set yourself up for Shavasana. Let's get a layer that we might need so we know we're going to be warm enough. Maybe we want socks on our feet. So any of the things you've come to realize are important to you to feel good and comfortable and safe, and it's a transition. You can feel it all. Your whole being is aware that, oh, we're transitioning now into this quieting time, this loving time of relaxation and comfort. So allow yourself, to gather whatever encourages that for you and supports that. You want to be very supported. So don't try to muscle your way in like, you're going to hold yourself up into this upright position. It's not virtuous. That's what I'm going to just encourage. You don't need to do it. We don't need to prove anything. So we're just going to make sure we're really leaning back, holding ourselves in a way that is supported, is relaxed. The belly wall starts to soften. Our hands are softening. We can feel our shoulders relax. That's what we're shooting for. You want the eyes closed as soon as you're comfortable with that. And I'm just going to throw it out as a suggestion. Try that box breath. Try it as a gateway into this time. Counting, holding, all of that, very intentional. But see, it's very focused. It's highly focused. So your mind has all the structure it needs. And then your nervous system responds in kind. It's just beautiful way to just transition to a place of peace and ease in the body. And the mind is happy because it's got a job to do. It's counting. And then let that go whenever it feels right, that you no longer need to or choose to count. And you tune in entirely to the felt experience of the breath, the rise and fall of your belly, let's say. Inhale, belly rise. Exhale, belly falls. You're just in tune with the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathing all the way in and then all the way out. It's easy. It's a natural flow. Encourage self-havening. Maybe you got your hands on your arms and you're kind of stroking your arms. Anything at all. Maybe you like to cup your face in your hands and you just bring your cupped hands around your jawline, and that has a sweetness about it you can remember from days gone by. And some loving person in your life has seen you in that way, holds your face, looks at you and sees you for the beautiful being that you are. Feeling the support of the surface beneath you. Recognizing, welcoming the support of the surface beneath you. Relax your mouth, soften that tongue. Relax all the muscles around your eyes. Sometimes those are the last to let go. So let's invite that relaxation of the muscles all around your eyes, softening the face. Feeling the support of the surface beneath you, welcoming that, being grateful for it. Allowing it to support you. See if you can breathe in a way that you can hear it. It's called the Ujjayi breath, where we utilize the whisper muscles of the throat, that little ha sound. But it's very subtle. It just allows you to hear your breath. So you have yet another way of paying attention to it. As you allow your body to be supported and held by the surface beneath you. Can you imagine now? Can you imagine the space that surrounds your body? Maybe it's 3 to 5 inches of air space that you can kind of, yeah, I can imagine that there is that space that surrounds me. See if you can stay with that awareness. And even if the whole body is out of your reach, could you imagine the space that surrounds your head, for example? And then, yeah, I'm aware of that there's space there because I'm breathing in from the space and out again into it. So, yes, I'm aware of the space that surrounds my head. And maybe you can also be aware of the space that surrounds your whole body. In some way, you're aware there's space and you are being held by it. Hmm. Breathing in from the space around you and out again into it. The space that surrounds you is a peaceful place of loving kindness. Did you know that? The space that surrounds you is a peaceful space with loving kindness. So just marinate in that. And let this be easy. So if any of the words I've chosen just don't resonate with you, let it go. Let this be easy. A place to rest. A place that's easy. Fully accessible. Breathing in from the space around you and out again into it. The reading I've chosen for our daily meditation or reflection is from Melody Beattie's book, Journey to the Heart, that I refer to quite often in this class. It's a favorite of mine. Here's her entry for today, January 5th. Let life reveal itself to you. You don't have to strain so, trying to get your revelations. The guidance, the inspiration, the awareness you need will come to you. The way we're living now from the heart is much easier than the way we lived before. Sometimes it is so natural we might not understand what's happening. We may even be uncomfortable at first with how easy it is. We find ourselves straining to lift a heavy bowling ball when what we have to pick up is only a ping pong ball. Then we wonder why it feels so light. We may question whether there's something wrong because it feels so different. Just because your life feels lighter doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Your next step, the answer to the question you've been mulling about, the direction for the next stage of your growth, where you will live next, what you need to do next about work, money, or that problem you've been struggling with, will come. If you're fussing and straining, you may not hear it. Don't worry about getting all your answers or your agenda for the years ahead. That is not how this process works. In order to participate in this more magical way of life, trust that all you need to know will be revealed to you when it is time. Relax. You're on a journey of discovery. Let life reveal itself to you. Start to deepen your breath more intentionally, a deeper, fuller breath as we begin slowly but surely our transition. Just deepening the breath. Maybe we start to introduce movement to the body. And then let's sync up that breath as we inhale through the nose and exhale it out with that big sigh. Ah, a cleansing breath. Big inhale through the nose, sigh it out, make some noise. Ah. Maybe you keep doing that as you start making your way back upright to a seated position, feet on the ground. You're no longer resting into a backrest or into any surface, but instead you're utilizing the core strength and the alignment that we created. Shrug your shoulders and then release them. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and shrug and release. One more. Squeeze, squeeze, and release. One more big breath in through the nose and sigh it out. Ah, beautiful. Let's sync up our breath as we close out this session today. Inhale with me, palms will be overhead. Inhaling here. Exhale, bow at your own heart. Inhale, back up. Exhale, let's share this beautiful, powerful, loving energy with our community. Hands come back to the prayer position. We bow to ourselves and to one another. Namaste, my friends. And thank you for joining me.